What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 most heavily shorted EVs in the market as of right now. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with good old stock number 5. So things have switched up a little bit. So Canoe, tickers go EV, on Friday it did go down 2.04% over the last 1 year, down 88.74, and in 2024 down 75.66. It is stock number 5, sitting at 18.21% of the free float being shorted. Very high cost to borrow, so 242.44%. 13.26 million shares overall are being shorted. You can kind of see shorts did return roughly around 417,000 shares on Friday. Short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 91.2, and that is comprised of, just so you're aware, utilization, cost to borrow, and number of shares being shorted. So that kind of equates to a good ratio, and just generally shorts have been getting into Canoe over this last little bit. So low, roughly around 12%. And that was at the end of July. So shorts definitely have been doubling down quite a lot. Through IBKR does indicate around 30,000 shares is available to be shorted. So once again, add that to your watch list. Moving on to Rivian. So Rivian did go down with the broader market on Friday, went down 3.71% over the last 1 year, down 43.12, and in 2024 down 43.61%. 18.41% of the free float is being shorted, slightly higher than Canoe, but 132.74 million shares overall are being shorted. Very low cost to borrow. In fact, you do see a broker out there physically paying people to short Rivian. I brought this up in the past, but you do see the cost to borrow minimum being negative. So again, meaning that people are getting paid out there. It doesn't actually show you which broker is doing that. So if you guys know, let me know in the comments below. But on Friday, shorts did increase 682,000 shares, short score 73.48, and just generally shorts have started to pounced a little bit with Rivian, so they've been kind of piggybacking off of their broader fears in the market right now. And as of the time of doing this video, does indicate around 1.5 million shares is available to be shorted. And you can kind of see right now, IBKR, their cost to borrow is sitting at 0.42, so they're not the culprit that is paying people. So just to rule them out. Moving on to stock number 3, Workhorse. They got hit really bad on Friday, down 8.02% over the last 1 year, down 95.63, and in 2024 down 91.96%. So definitely not the best, but then again, any stock that's kind of on this list, obviously their stock performance hasn't been the best because you have shorts on their tails. But with stock number 3, 20.98% of the free float being shorted, works out to be 5.05 million. On a side note, there is a lot of good information up top here that I don't necessarily go over, so you can always pause it and do what you need to do and whatever else. Shorts did return roughly around 20,000 shares. Cost to borrow average is 23.41, and through IBKR, looks like there is 0 shares available. So should make for a very interesting little bit. Of course, what typically does happen whenever there is limited supply, you do see larger entities buying up the stock. So you might see a little bit more of a jump up because of that. But the reason why a lot of entities do buy is just merely for the purposes of lending out shares. So you might see this bump up a little bit. So yeah, something to keep in mind overall. Moving on to stock number 2, you do have Nikola. So it did go down 6.74% on Friday. Over the last 1 year, down 84.2, and in 2024, down 79.96. On a side note, before I kind of go over the short interest and all the fun jazz, if you are wanting to make yourself a better investor, I highly recommend you guys taking advantage of Seeking Alpha. I have a 7-day free trial for you guys in the description below. If you ever want to know press releases, SEC filings, why a stock is going up, down, sideways, anything about earnings, financials, if a company has ever done any splits in its history, whether it be forward or reverse, it has everything that you need. And I definitely have become very reliant on Seeking Alpha. It has all the information in one location, so it makes investing a little bit easier. So with that, don't forget to take advantage of that 7-day free trial. And let me know your thoughts on Seeking Alpha. But right now, Nikola, 24.01% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 11.81 million shares. Friday, shorts did return 124,000 and change. Utilization, 89.2. Very high cost to borrow, so 311.04%, and then short score 89.57. And basically you have roughly around 150,000 shares available to be shorted. So there's a good amount there, but again, this cost to borrow is just simply supply and demand, so kind of adjust accordingly behind the scenes. And moving on to stock number 1, it did regain its throne, and that is Lucid. And I keep saying it regained its throne like it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a good thing to be the most heavily shorted stock. Maybe that might equate to a squeeze, most likely. But again, there's a lot of different things that need to fall in place for a squeeze to happen. That's just my opinion, of course. But on Friday, it did go down 1.65%. So fared a little bit better than a lot of the stocks that I have been talking about so far. Over the last 1 year, down 41.86%. And in 2024, down 15.2%. But still very heavily shorted. 27.85% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 249.91 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 8 on the mark. Shorts did increase 1.83 million shares on Friday, and over this last several trading days, you can kind of see shorts have really started to double down quite a lot. So it was kind of breaking the trend a little bit. So they were returning ever since beginning of August, give or take. So yeah, that is very interesting. So it'll be unique to see what they do this upcoming week, whether they do continue to double down similar to Rivian. Going back over to Rivian for a second, you can kind of see how shorts really just started to like increase after increase after increase. So that might happen to Lucid. We'll just have to wait and see. But utilization in Lucid's case is 93.61, short score 84.66. And through IBKR, there's roughly around 900,000 shares available to be shorted. And I think Lucid is a very good example, as what I mentioned, how big entities do buy just for the purposes of lending out shares. Happens with Lucid time and time again. It goes down to 350, an entity buys, and all of a sudden it's 1.1 and then 2.6 million available. So happens all the time. It's unfortunate, but that's kind of the name of the game. So let me know your thoughts. Do you own any of these stocks, or are they just on your watch list? Is there any other stocks that is heavily shorted that you feel is a squeeze play? Like I said, I do go through all of these stocks. So this is all the EVs in order based on market cap. So I look up Tesla, I look up Lee, I look up NIO, I look up VinFast, I look them all up. So you have all the most up-to-date information right here. There was this stock that did kind of regain and push higher. So the EZGO, so they are technically stock number 6. You have, what else was it? I think Faraday. Faraday was stock number 7. NIO, shorts, surprisingly, ever since their earnings, they've had shorts returning some shares. So they've definitely fallen off the list quite significantly. Polestar shorts have been returning quite a lot over this last little bit. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on these stocks. One final thing I do want to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a kick-ass deal. Link to this is in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.